Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Let's openly swear and bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship but Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah, born in Arabia over 1,400 some odd years ago, is his messenger and servant. And I greet you with a universal language of peace. Assalamu alaikum. And we thank Allah for this beautiful day, this first Friday, dealing of the month. And it's a blessing to come together and hearken to the call. As Allah said, on Friday, we hearken to the call of His command. And we come and congregate on His blessings. And then we go back and disperse back into our business and our daily activity. Everything is good and wholesome. Allahu Akbar. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. All praise is due to Allah, who brings good news to whoever stands for prayer with humility and submission, with tidings of happiness and prosperity. And He warns whoever neglects or is absent-minded about his prayers with woe and affliction and a deprivation of being deprived of a favorable and successful outcome. I witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, and there is nothing like unto Him who is one and alone, the generous and victorious. I witness that our leader, Muhammad, peace be upon him, is His servant and messenger, who commands His ummah with everything that is good and excellent for them, righteousness and properness. O Allah, the prayers and peace be upon Muhammad, his family, and his companions until the day of acquittal. And what follows thereafter, then, O servants of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself, to first have regard, taqwa for Allah, Most High, and obey Him. Alhamdulillah. Coming out today, we're coming from Allah appointed Prophet Muhammad to his five senses. Allah appointed Prophet Muhammad to his five senses. Now, five senses may seem like something that's just out the ordinary. But five senses have a lot to do with wudu. Wudu and respect for your five senses. The Prophet said about going to bathe, to go into in water 5 times, would that person be impure? Would he have any impurity on him? Or you hear the saying of a person say, you keep hanging around a barbershop, eventually you'll go get a haircut. And Allah give us a description in the Quran to let us know about prayer restrains us much from evil. Always have a constant regard for remembrance of Allah. Doing salat, how salat makes you prosper. All praise is due to Allah, who brings good news to whoever stands for prayer with humility and submission, with tidings of happiness and prosperity. And He warns whoever neglects or is absent-minded about his prayers with woe and affliction, and deprivation of being deprived of a favorable and successful outcome. I witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, and there is nothing like unto Him who is one and alone, the generous and victorious. He is generous. He is a generous God. He gives to all. His fountain never runs dry. His generosity, you don't do anything to get His generosity. He immediately comes out with it. This is Allah. This is what He do for us. Everything in life that serves to us, water, is here for generosity, for comfort. It's to bring you comfort. It's to help the body. Or wool is given to us in all different aspects. Animals is given to us in all different aspects. To feed, some to use as protection like a dog. Everything is there. Allah giving it to us out of generosity. We found out about different things in technology. Allah giving it to us out of generosity, because that's who He is. He's the most generous, the most merciful, the most victorious. There's no people that had trust in God wind up not being victorious. Allah said in Surah 2, Ayah 177, He tells us that the one that perseveres, the patience, the one that have the regard with taqwa, these are the ones that is victorious. He says in Surah 23, Mu'minun, the believer. Victorious is the believer. But He gives a content. He gives us a moral content The word he used is tahara. Tahara is like purity, but it's a social purity. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya marayamhum innallaha satafaki tahiraki. This is coming out of Surah Maryam. When the ayah came to Maryam about her being pure, and it has the word tahiraki. Tahira is a purity, a purification of the soul. It's like water, it's the five senses. So she had to get a purification, but is it talking just about her? No. Allah's showing us that we got tahira in our nature. We have a consciousness that will help us clean us up, our social nature up. If you look at a society that is absent laws, absent justice, absent equality, then you see the people that been raised up in them to bring about those laws, to have those stands. So what was our first stance? He was told to the prophet. The prophet was told to read in the name of thy Lord who created man from a leech-like cloud. Now this is Allah telling the Prophet Muhammad in a cave who was sensitive for moral needs. He was sensitive for moral needs of the people in society. This is a society that's in a phase that's sensitive for moral needs and moral care. It got people that are looking for a moral need and a moral care. They have a lot of people, if you go to children or psychologists, that got their mother and father gave them away for adoption. And that child winds up going to another home, but he has an anger problem. He has a social problem, they call it, right? He can't communicate. There's something missing. This is the thing that Allah tells in us. Allah say there's something missing within us that we have to go back and give attention to. That's that tahara. So he pointed the Prophet Muhammad to five senses, not like he pointed with the finger. He placed them in mustaqah. Mustaqah is when Allah said that he placed you into a certain, as a semen in the woman, in the ovum. He placed it in there for a period of time. Same thing he tell as us being on earth, we're here for a period and for a time, and use the word mustaqah. So he places the Prophet Muhammad in a circumstance that rectify everything that's in him to let him know to be sensitive, and then he heard the call of God. Then he came out, he told him, unfolded, he told him to go out and give the warning. The same thing we do. Once we come out of sajda, we go out and do what? We go out and give out the peace. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Then you, from that peace, that you went from that side to that side, now you scooping up with your dua. Now you coming with your dua. What is that dua for? That dua for my family. That dua is for my community life. That's for everything. That's what my dua is from. It's not a selfish dua. So my nature is being a child of that same generosity that Allah represents. Attributes are just like studying molecules. You can't see a molecule, but you can see the molecule through the studying and the observation. Same way like faith. I can't see the Iman, but I see the Iman based off of my studying and my observation, as well as my soul. We have things that's concrete that allow us to see the soul. And Muhammad told us that this is something that means the psychic, your psychology. This is your psychology. Your soul is your psychic. Now, psychology, this is not the same Western side. I'm not talking about Western psychology. I'm talking about the study of the mind. This is your studies, how you study scientifically of your mind. It's how your social system is. Well, if my social system is in an environment that's not catering to my five senses, then my five senses, by its natural right, how it's made, is going to go the opposite way. That's what it's going to do. And that's what they see going on in social behavior. So this knowledge is just coming straight out from the psychologists. This is what they learn, so when they're dealing with some social behavior in a family, how they can deal with their family. And they look at that environment. So what did Allah say He placed us in? He placed us in a good environment. So He give us this. He say, I won't change the conditions of man until man change the condition in himself. Why? In his soul. I've given proportion and order to the soul. Surah 94. I'm giving you proportion and order. What is my proportion and order? And how do I operate off that proportion and order? By Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah. By his uswa. By his character. He walked with the word. Alhamdulillah, if I walk with the word, I will receive my same benefit. Because that's the word. That's the kalima. The brother Imam said today. It's the shahid. That's we witness. Shahid, when you take a shahada, you witness it. It's the witnessing. Your soul is witnessing. But it's giving you something that you can hold on to. So why did, when he told Mary, Ya Maryamu, inna laha satafaki wa taharaki, the purification. Now that's just a piece of that because I was given a point of what tahara is. He said when you read it in the context, the purifying of the soul, because your soul was right. You was morally sensitive. So if you come out of morally sensitive society, you can hear from God. Because God don't like anything that's not caring about someone else. Look at the prophet we used to say in his sayings. He said, you're not a believer if you go to sleep with a full belly and your neighbor go to sleep with an empty belly. Right? So those things that are, if you got benefit, but you not as food, but you look at the appetite of the soul. If I go in my storehouse of my soul and I store up so much of knowledge, and I don't pass that knowledge on to others, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not a believer. I'm being the shaitan. Because I want to be the dominant. So the best thing Allah pointing them to keep your soul in content is your five senses. Now your five in the symbolism is a circle, right? It's complete. It's a circle. In symbolism, in the symbolism of Arabic, if you want to say five, it's a circle. You make it a circle. But look at this 7. Look at this 7. Look at the 7 verses. But what 5 follows behind that 5? Your principles, your 5 senses. Where do right guidance come from? The 5 senses. Where do love come from? The 5 senses. Everything comes from those 5 senses, from that same circle. But if that 5 senses is in the wrong environment, if it's concentrating on the wrong thing, look what it'll bring it to. It's powerful. It's very powerful. I'm just hitting on different little points. Because that soul, it has that potential. They know it. They know it. They know it can do that. The shaitan know it. And it's beautiful how deep Prophet Muhammad told a man to watch over some property. And he told him, don't let nobody get this property. No one to get this property. He said, okay, Rasulullah, I will do that. He goes to the property, holding it down. A man come by. The shaitan came disguised as a poor man that was in need for food. So he went there to the man to try to get something. The man gave it to him. He went back to the prophet. I gave the man something. He's the prophet would, admonish him for that. He said, well, prophet, I'm going to do this time. I'm going to give it to no one. When I go there, I'm going to hold it down and do it nowhere. I'm paraphrasing. Went back to the house, came again. He gave it to him. But little did he know, the prophet knew that was the shaitan. But he didn't. So he went back over there and did it again. This time, the man told him he'll give him something. He said, man, I'm not going to give you anything from out of here because if I give, the prophet told me to protect this property and I'm just protecting this property. I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to do what he told me. He said, well, I tell you what, if you give me this, I will give you something. I will give you something better than anything in the whole world. And when he told him, it was right. It was right. It was the devil. But what he told him was right. Guess what he told him? Prayer. If you pray at this certain time of night, you'll get blessings. So he go back to the man, go back to the prophet, tell the prophet that he went out. He said, man, prophet, I tried. He gave me something, and I gave him something to eat. I gave him this bread. I told him what you had told me to tell him and everything. So the prophet told him, you know who you were dealing with? That was the devil, but the devil told you something right to get what he needed. But he told you the truth. But the more of the story, he wanted to focus on what was important. Shaitan know that your prayer is important. He know that your prayer is important. But your prayer is your 5 senses. That's what you asking Allah for, to guide. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, ihdina siratal mustaqim. You asking Allah to guide you to that.